Hello, it's Naomi from Nene Makes, and this is a tutorial on how to make a granny square. I recommend this being your first pattern in learning crochet. It teaches you different techniques on how to turn rows and how to make corners, on how to make magic rings, and the difference in spaces and stitches. So hopefully you've got yourself a crochet hook. This one is a 5.5mm hook, and this yarn is Aran weight, so it's not DK and it's not chunky, it's kind of in between the two. So to start with, for our granny square, we're going to learn how to make a magic ring. Magic rings I prefer to do when it is a circular pattern, so anything that's the centre of a blanket instead of rows. We start from the centre and work outwards. I always think a magic ring is a lot nicer to pull. It closes the centre piece off a lot easier and looks a lot neater. So to start with, we hold our thumb over our thread like so, and we bring this piece around 3 fingers across our fingers, and then underneath to the left of the yarn that we've already got under our thumb, and then with this piece we bring it to the left of the piece over to the 3 fingers, and then catch it with our pinky and bring it back underneath the 3 fingers and back into the thumb, so that we're secure, nobody's moving anywhere. We get our hook, and with our hook facing downwards, go between your first 2 fingers, underneath the first one, over the back one. Bring that back one through, twist your head up so that we've got our hook moving along, and then move up to the top, grab that one, let go, turn, bring the head down and out, and there we have one magic ring. So there's our working yarn, there's our tail. You can pull that to however size you want to work through that's easier for you. And with a magic ring, let's make that a bit tighter, this would be classed as a chain 1. So I've already got 1 chain ready to go. So for a granny square, each stitch is a cluster of 3 stitches to make the kind of like, it looks like a triangle, but it's a cluster of 3 stitches all the way around for each time. So it's a repeat, it's a very, very easy, quick repeat stitches. Sometimes people start their patterns for granny squares with a chain 3. So we've already got 1 chain there. We can add another 2 to give us the height of our treble, which is a UK term for the stitch, or if you're learning in US terms, it is a double crochet. So for the purpose of this pattern and for this tutorial, I will be continuing in US terms. So this is a double crochet, but know if you are UK that this is a treble. But for the entire pattern, I will refer it to US terms, which is a double. So we've done our chain 3, which is our first stitch. Yarn over, and then into our loop below, which I'm holding with my thumb, so it's not going anywhere. We've got the centerpiece ready to work straight into. We're going to put our hook into that magic ring, bring up 1 loop so that we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again and pull through 2. So that is a US double crochet. Again, make 1 more into the magic ring to make another double crochet. So 3 double crochets is the stitch. There we go. So we have a cluster of 3 double crochets. To make our first corner, we are going to chain 2. So this is just for the corners. For round 1, we have 1 corner. And then we're going to repeat the process again of the 3 stitches. Double crochets. 1, into that ring. All of it is going into the same ring for round 1, 2, and 3. So there we have 3 double crochets. And we're going to repeat the corner again to make corner number 2. 1, 2. So 2 chains. And again 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. If you need to go at a slower pace, please remember you can pause the video, you can skip back, start again. You don't have to go at my pace. It is a work in progress, so you go at your own pace if I'm going too fast for you. So again, we now need our 3rd corner, so you can already see we're making a square shape. So chain 2 for another corner, yarn over, and then into the same ring we're going to make 3 more double crochets. Like so. So this is where our little tail needs to stay involved. So I'm working over that tail at the same time so that we can pull it closed. So there we go. Our tail's gone all the way around with us. We have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 1, 2, 3 times. And we're going to finish off with chain 2 for our last corner. Try and close that a little bit, bring the tail behind so it's out of the way. Now, our chain 3 at the very beginning, find the 3rd chain. So this was the chain that was made when we made the magic ring. And then we made 2 more chains. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pick up that 3rd chain by putting it on my hook. So there's the front loop of it. If I can do this through the camera lens. There we go, there's 1. And then if you look behind, there's the 2nd one. So I want to pick up that one as well. So this is where it's handy to have nails. So I've picked up both, she says, like so. So you've got the 2 loops like you would do if it was a stitch. You pick up the 2 loops, yarn over, and then pull through. So you can see underneath I'm pulling through that chain like that. So this is called a slip stitch. So we're going to pull that loop through the loop on our hook like so. Skip back if you need to watch that again. So to start off our 2nd row, I'm going to turn my square. So we're going to turn this square over, and then notice behind, the first thing we have here is our chain 2 for the corner. So like we did to start with, we're going to chain 3. So this is our last, or our first treble, but it will be the last one in our row. So yarn over, insert hook into the chain 2 below, and make 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space below. And this is creating a corner stitch. So this repeat corner will be on every single corner we do throughout the whole square. Let's give that a bit more of a close. You can kind of see the backs of the stitches now. So we have our trio ready there. We're going to create our new corner. So chain 2. And then we're going to repeat that for a second time into the same chain space. So this chain 2 space will have 2 sets of double crochets. So make 3 more into that chain 2 corner. So this will be the same for every chain 2 corner that you do. So 3 double crochets like there. Do the same thing again into our second chain 2 space. So we're going to jump straight over to that chain 2 corner and make 3 double crochets into there. Like that. And then chain 2 and make 3 more again. 1, 2, 3, like so, and then again into that second or third chain 2 corner, make 3 double crochets, one, two, three, chain 2, and then 3 more. So round 2 is as repetitive as round 1. There we go. And then again the same into our 4th corner, exactly the same. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, like so. So we've reached the end. Let's give that centre a little bit more of a pull so that we can see how square this looks. We've got to the end, find our chain 3 from the beginning, and again the top chain, which is there, look, right at the top. We're going to find the front loop of that one there, and then the back loop is there, look. We're going to find that one and go through there. And then pull through our yarn so that we go under both loops. So we should have the third loop underneath behind, and then slip stitch through the loop on our hook to close. And that is round 2 closed off. For round 3, our starting point is in the centre of the sides. So I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to turn so that it's a bit easier for the chain not to twist too much. I'm going to finish off with another chain. So we've got our 3 chains, but this last chain is facing the right way for when I close off. Insert our hook in between these 2 sets of trios, the trio of double crochets. I'm going to make 2 double crochets into that space between the 2, like that, and then I'm going to repeat our corner, so exactly the same as what we did for round 2. So 3 double crochets into the corner, chain 2 space. I'm going to go a bit speedier this time because we've done these corners already 4 times, so we don't really need to know what I'm doing, because we already know it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets for every corner. Just make sure you remember you're doing a corner when you get to it, because we don't want to go back and find that we've only done one set of trio when we come to do the next round and we get to that corner and we can't find the corner, which is a very easy mistake and common mistake that a lot of crocheters do when it comes to granny squares, is we forget to add the second set of trio of double crochets. So once we've done our corner, we've got our side. There's our sets of trio of double crochets. We're going to do 3 double crochets in between those 2 sets. So there we are, 3 double crochets, and then straight over again to our corner to work 3 double crochets. I'm going to go a bit faster just so that you don't have to watch me do all of this. Again, it's trickier to do through a camera lens than it is to actually see what I'm doing, but we're doing all right. It's 3, yarn over, and then into our side again with another 3. So the trio is in every aspect, trio of stitches. Again into our corner. If you need to pause it to catch up, go ahead, or watch me go as fast as I can to show you how to close off again and start again. I think that's the area a lot of granny squares can be a mistake when it comes to closing off and starting a new row, because if you don't turn your rows, your granny square, if you build up your rows until you've got, say, 100 rows, you can see, did I just chain 1? Look at that. I don't put chains between my trios on for the sides because I don't think it's necessary to have that much space in between. But yeah, the turning will stop your square from twisting. So if you look at it from above, if you've got it laid down on the floor, you can see the rows twist as you do each row. So by turning your rows each time, that stops it from twisting. But there is also a neat trick that I might show you. There's our trio, and then there's our beginning chain 3 to close up. Find the top of that chain 3 to close. So there is an alternative method to try if you wanted to try, instead of doing the chain 3. What am I going through both there? There we go. So slip stitch to close. There is an alternative to the chain 3 if you're feeling brave enough to start off your granny square, so that because sometimes the chain 3 can look too skinny next to the double crochets. So I found a trick where you can chain 1, turn, make a single crochet like so, and then inside that single crochet you can go through the middle. It's quite tight, but as long as you've got the 2 loops on one side, pull through a loop, up, and then make another single crochet. So you've got a stack, and then work your 2 single crochets after that, like so. So this will give you 3 trios that look similar, rather than having that twisted look of a chain 3. So it's completely up to you. You can chain 3, you can make a standing stacked single crochet, or there is another alternative stitch to make a standing treble or double crochet in US terms. So we turn, we pull up this loop a little bit, and then we, holding onto this with our finger, we go around so that we're twisting because we've still got that underneath our finger. We pull this yarn like so, if I can do it through the camera, and then bring it up to the front so that we've got 2 loops on our hook. Hold those both 2 under your finger, then insert your hook into the space you want to do the stitch. 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is a standing double crochet. So we can either chain 3, we can either single crochet stack, or we can do the standing double crochet. There are 3 alternatives to pick from, whichever you fancy, whichever one you think. I think that one does look a lot nicer than the chain 3. So we've got our standing double crochet there, and there we go. It's exactly the same process all the way around. Another corner, trio, trio, corner, trio, trio, corner, all the way around, slip stitch into the top. And that is the granny square. There we go. I hope this tutorial has helped you. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. I do have other tutorials as well if you want to take a look at different techniques. Go ahead, give me a review, and anything else you fancy doing to help support my business would be fabulous. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.